The latest Absolute Batman storyline, Absolute Zero, continued this week with the release of Absolute Batman 8. How many times can I say absolute in a single sentence? Answers on a postcard. If you haven't been keeping up with this book, then I'll provide a brief summary of the story so far to get you up to speed. In the Absolute universe, Bruce Wayne is a very different person. A survivor of a mass shooting which claimed the life of his father, this Bruce Wayne didn't grow up in the lap of luxury, nor did he travel the world honing his skills. Instead, he's an angry, gifted young man who works as a civil engineer in Gotham City, arguably one of the most corrupt places on Earth. He has none of the resources you might expect Batman to have, and has to build his tools himself using materials he's scraped together from his day job. In his first adventure, Batman faced off with billionaire Roman Sionis and his party animals, who threw the city into chaos in order to oust Mayor Gordon and install their own flunky, Hamilton Hill. The city has been flagged as the location for the mysterious private prison Ark M, and its purpose is a closely guarded secret. But one thing Batman knows for certain is that if it's related to Sionis and his backers, then it can't be a good thing. Batman sought out his childhood friend Mitchell Malone, nicknamed Matches, to create a fake ID for him so that he could get on the crew building Ark M. But Matches went further than that. Instead, he infiltrated the crew himself. When he met Batman to share his findings, he suddenly died in a gruesome way with blood gushing from every orifice, and then some others. He had been victim of a mysterious bacterial infection that he had picked up in Ark M, and Batman wanted answers. He found evidence on Match's phone that listed several names of researchers, and one of them was local to Gotham, Victor Fries, head of V-Corps. Posing as a bureaucrat coming to check on the company's power consumption, Batman met Freeze and was shocked to find that, while he seemed fairly meek and friendly, he was actually a deranged beast. He gladly told Batman that when he was a child, he had been deathly ill, and that his scientist parents had cryogenically frozen him until they could find a cure. However, rather than being placed in a peaceful dreamlike state, instead Victor was awake every second he was frozen, and the process was agony. What's worse, the ice contained an ancient bacteria that transformed him into the monster he was now. You may find yourself wondering why he told Batman this. Well, partially because he seems to have a flair for the dramatic, but also because he intended to freeze Batman, and he wanted him to know what gruesome fate awaited him. And that's where this issue picks up, with a dazed Batman being dragged around by Freeze and chucked into a cryogenic tank. It's interesting to note that Freeze tells Batman that he's in good company, with members of some of Gotham's most wealthy families undergoing the procedure in order to save themselves. But what they really find isn't salvation, it's vengeance. For Batman, he finds himself reliving his unpleasant memories, the day of the shooting at the zoo and how his father went back to pick up one of the children that had fallen over while trying to escape the shooter. This scene was shown in issue 1 of Absolute Batman, and it was done to demonstrate Thomas Wayne's heroism. But the issue reveals that the boy who fell over was Matches. And Matches went on to blame himself for Thomas Wayne's death. He felt that if he hadn't been so clumsy, then they all could have hidden in the bat enclosure together and Thomas would have survived. This completely ignores the fact that Thomas put the children in the bat enclosure and told them to hide while he stood guard in front of the door. But that didn't matter to Matches. This is the whole reason why he went down the path in life that he had done. He felt tremendously guilty and didn't think he deserved a happy life. It's also why he went above and beyond for Bruce, and it's ultimately what cost him his life. And the key thing here is that Batman also has survivor's guilt. Since the first issue, where it was revealed that he had won the trip to the zoo for his classmates, it has been abundantly clear that this is part of what drives him as Batman. He's not necessarily going out there and fighting crime to prevent anyone else from experiencing the pain that he has felt, although that is definitely a part of it. No, really, being Batman is a punishment he inflicts upon himself for his perceived failings. It's his way of atoning. As the flashback to Crime Alley shows, Batman's childhood friends call him out for his death wish. They think he's trying to kill himself by being Batman and they chastise him. Wayland tells him in no uncertain terms that Thomas Wayne chose to sacrifice himself to save the children, but that wasn't what made him a hero. Dying is not heroic. Living is. And that's really what Batman needed to hear. It could have been easy for him to just give up in Freeze's cryogenic tank, but he fought to get free and shook off the pain of enduring such cold temperatures. Batman dusted himself down and tried to put a stop to Freeze. But he failed. We learned that Freeze's role in the Ark M project was to blanket Gotham in snow, laced with markers that allowed them to read the genetic profile of anyone whose skin came into contact with it. According to the mysterious overseers, over 92% of Gotham's population has been mapped, and they're ready to start finding test subjects. It's at this point that Batman bursts in and attempts to take Freeze down. It's a very dramatic scene with Batman using a blowtorch on Freeze's face and tries to impale him on the tendrils from his cape. This is all very in keeping with Absolute Batman, who can be brutal. While burning someone's face with a blowtorch would usually bring an end to a fight with a regular person, here it only slows Freeze down. He's still an inhuman monster. Having said that, it's perhaps a more even fight than Freeze had anticipated, and so he calls in his backup. The cryogenic patients, who are now all as hideously mutated as he is. Given that they were all dead, or at the very least close to death, these minions are essentially zombies. Note that a punch from Batman sends a jaw flying off. There's a nice parallel between the minions and Batman because every blow he lands causes them serious harm, and may even kill some of them. But he gets the sense that they want to die, and they won't stop coming. Batman decides that he wants to live and to keep fighting, so he flees and tries to rally his friends. However, unbeknownst to Batman, the Ark M project has kidnapped Wayland, saying that he is a perfect specimen for whatever they have planned. I have a funny feeling that once Ark M is done with him, Wayland Jones is going to be living up to his Killer Croc nickname, quite literally. Absolute Batman number 8 is available now from all good comic shops. If you are based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's biggest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in the pinned comment on this video. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, I am getting perilously close to filling up our storage unit. You may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have an affiliate link with them, which you could use to help my channel out. This is also included in the pinned comment. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? Am I the only one that was surprised to see Batman fail in defeating Mr. Freeze? What do the sinister men in black have in mind for Wayland? Is this the beginning of the end of Bruce's support network? And now that Freeze has defrosted his minions, do you think they'll willingly go back into the ice, or does Gotham have a zombie snowman problem on their hands? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time, I'll be back next week to talk about the latest issue of Absolute Flash. When we last saw our hero, he was being pursued by the Rogues and the Absolute version of Grodd. Although if the cover is anything to go by, I have a feeling that Wally and Grodd may develop something that resembles a friendship. Hope to see you then.